All right, boys. Well, there was a full week of Premier League games. We had all the games on. Wait, there were 60% of the games canceled this week. Should we cancel 60% of this podcast?
Listen, if I were to make that request, the Premier League would definitely deny it.
This is Red Card Radio.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're tuning in. Thanks for listening. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea Football Club. Sean, down below, he supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs. F1 is done. That's the only F1 comment we will have all week. But yeah, so what's up, boys? How we doing? How we feeling? Sean, your football team played football for the first time in like 2 weeks.
I'm just learning how games go now because I wasn't sure because I haven't seen it in so long. So
it was crazy. You guys like there was a ball. I mean, then again, Antonio Conte might have lost his mind in those 2 weeks because apparently he thinks Eric Dyer can become one of the best center backs in the world. So
when I read that comment, I wanted to throw up.
You're not getting rid of him. He's Tottenham's bad penny. He's just always going to be there.
Yeah,
you should learn to love it.
He's trying to find some unsuspecting team to come buy the best center back in the world. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Eric Dyer is going to be the gift that keeps giving.
I feel like Eric Dyer as a bad penny would be the one that you don't want and you throw into a fountain, and then some dude or kid scoops all the pennies out of the fountain and pays and then buys a drink with it, and then you get the change back, and it's that penny.
Dang. Yeah, probably. There's an episode of Bluey like that. Brad, I know I'm sure you know about that, where
oh my god,
with Bluey
doesn't go away.
The $5 note, and she wants to buy something with her friend,
and it goes all around the fair, and it comes back
to her.
Yeah.
That's our dad moment for the for the day. But
it's now a dad pod too. Add dad pod to this.
Before we get too deep into the dad pod, we do, if you're listening, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, do all of those things, rate us 5 stars, all those lovely things. It really helps us out, helps us reach a new audience, and we really appreciate it. So if you're new here, thank you. I hope you enjoy us. That we would really appreciate if you do those things, right, Sean?
Yes, because if you don't, like, subscribe, rate, review, and follow.
5 star.
And 5 star.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go to your favorite establishment.
Okay.
And it's going to be opening an hour later than you anticipated.
No.
Oh no.
Then you got to figure out what to do with that hour.
That's rough.
That's terrible.
It reminds me of a time on my wedding day where I was going to take my groomsmen out to brunch. And I was like, oh, we're going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's going to totally be open right now. We show up. It didn't open for like an hour and a half or something like that. And I call my fiance, my now wife, Dr. Tiffany, and I say, hey, Amanda, this place doesn't open for quite a long time. And she's like, I told you to Google it. And then she hung up the phone.
And that's welcome to marriage.
Yes.
The clipboard had it on there for James to Google. James ignored the clipboard.
I did ignore the clipboard. So yeah, that would be quite inconvenient. I know from personal experience. It was quite inconvenient. Yes, Brad knows about it too.
Very inconvenient.
So you probably want to like, subscribe, rate, review, and 5 star.
Hit that 5 star for sure. So tonight, what we've got for you, we have comments from our previous episode. We're going to talk about the anemic match week 18, the match week that everyone didn't want to be. But interesting results, some controversy in match week 18 in a certain football match that involves one of our teams, one of our 3 teams. And then we'll talk about the EFL Cup. We had the quarterfinals of the League Cup, which all 3 of our teams were involved in. And then we will look forward to Boxing Day, which is match week 19. And then this is the stupid period of the Premier League window where we have Boxing Day is a Sunday, excuse me. It's the day after Christmas. So they have games on Sunday, one game on Monday, and then games again on Tuesday. Arsenal have the unenviable task of playing in less than 48 hours between kickoffs. They have less than 48 hours between kickoffs. The only team to have that. So, they play at, I think it's 10 on Sunday and then at 7, whenever they play on Tuesday. So, not fun. But yeah, that's what we got going on for you guys. So we're going to kick it off first with our comments. Sean, somebody took issue with the way that you were eating that pickle. And they wanted to remind you that this is a family program and not your own personal OnlyFans site.
I will literally go get a pickle right now.
Please don't.
Please don't.
I've got the entire jar.
We don't need that to happen.
You ate it so close to the microphone last time that it was...
You don't want to hear the crunch?
Nah, I don't want to hear the crunch. I just want to hear your voice, bro.
No, we don't. We don't need the crunch. We got the crunch last week. It was a one-time thing. Until I eat my pickle.
Yeah, you do need to eat some crow, Brad.
Yeah,
I'll mail you a pickle.
Yeah, that's good. You just put it in the mail. That'll work perfectly. Yeah. Pristine, I'm sure. Sean, Jimmy has some receipts for you. Okay. So match week 12. Sean, you wore an LSU colored purple shirt with like gold writing on it. So you're gonna have to go check the VOD, match week 12, figure out what's going on. And Jimmy's gonna want an apology, but he also wants to give you props because he thinks that out of the three of us and our selections for finishing top 4, he thinks that you are the most correct marginally.
He's got to be wrong here. No, he's got to be wrong here. I disagree, Jimmy, because I have the 3 clubs, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, and Manchester United is higher up than Tottenham. He did not have Chelsea in his top 4. So,
hey, Brad,
I'm taking issue with this.
This is his opinion. Yep. This is his opinion. You can talk to Jimmy later.
And opinions can be wrong.
I'm just reading the man's opinion.
They can't.
So he also had a thought for the World Chess Championship. He said
opinions aren't facts.
So Jimmy was pulling for Magnus in the World Chess Championship. He thinks the bigger news, however, is that Magnus is saying that he won't defend his title unless Ali Reza wins the candidates next year. That's the 18-year-old Iranian-based, now represents French. Number 2 in the world. So that's apparently who Magnus wants in the World Chess Championship next year. But we'll see if that happens. Magnus has recently said that he's going for the 2900 rating in classical, which it seems he thinks is more important. And then Jimmy also has thoughts. You have a chess comment, Sean. Yeah, go for it.
Just a question. So the entire year they play to be the number 2?
No.
To challenge?
No.
Okay.
So the world rankings are based on their ELO, their score.
Yeah, and then the 2 through
9.
17.
I think it's 2 through 9. I think it's 2 through 9. Play the candidates
to figure out who can.
I believe that's accurate. I think 2 through 9 play the candidates, and then whoever wins the candidates plays the world number 1.
Okay.
Or plays the current World Chess Champion.
Unless the current World Chess Champion says, I will not do this, then whoever wins the candidates tournament is the World Chess Champion.
No. Whoever wins, Magnus will be replaced by whoever lost the candidates. There will be a World Chess Championship, and it will be against whoever wins the candidates and either Magnus or whoever came second in
It'll
candidates.
be Nepo.
No, well, Nepo is probably going to be in the candidates, but we'll see. So the candidates is starting.
Oh, so they would just basically play again.
Yes,
correct.
The candidate final matchup would just be the World Chess Championship matchup.
Okay, gotcha.
Jimmy
they would just play again.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy also has thoughts about the Spurs game, but we will get to that when we talk about the Spurs game. He had quite a few comments on that.
Okay.
Will's back.
They're all stupid, but go ahead.
You have previewed the comments, so you could.
Yeah, they're all dumb.
Oh wait, I thought his opinions were facts.
Oh.
No, I said opinions are not facts.
Pretty sure you said opinions are facts.
No, he said opinions are
Moving
not.
on to Will's comments.
Brad can't hear. Old man needs to clear out his ears or something.
Facts.
What did Will say?
He says, so Will has a couple humorous comments. His first comment is in reference to the Arsenal Leeds game. He says, Leeds make Arsenal look like Liverpool, which is kind of funny. And then to piggyback off that, he says Sunderland, who Arsenal played in the Carabao Cup, Sunderland makes Eddie Nketiah look like Salah. Never seen a crazier hat trick. No headers, no real shots, just redirects. Good goals, but crazy hat trick. I can't disagree.
Yeah,
I can't disagree.
It's kind of. I did make the comment today that it was important for you guys to look like that.
Yeah,
and coming from a Tottenham fan, I don't want to admit that, but having your entire B team minus Emil Smith and Ben White.
Odegaard played as well. But yeah,
he doesn't normally start.
He has been. He has been.
Okay. Well, okay, even 3.
Yeah.
So 8 backup players.
Yeah, basically.
And you still just did what you're supposed to do against a League One team.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
Of all of the games, like Arsenal had the most to be embarrassed by if they lost this tie.
Yeah.
So it's good that we didn't.
You pulled a League One team and we got the fucking 7th place team in the league.
Yeah.
Or whatever, 8th, whatever.
Yeah. So
whatever.
Will's other comment is about the concussion issue. So he had a comment 2 weeks ago, I believe, about the concussion substitute, and he gave us a little bit more context on that. Apparently, it came up in the City Wolves game. I missed that apparently, but apparently there was a lengthy injury to a player, and the commentators were talking during the extended break that they might be used. It ultimately wasn't used. And Will believes that England is the only big European league that has the concussion substitute. And in regards to our specific conversation last week, someone made the suggestion that maybe if that rule got used, that player who was subbed would need to sit out the next week mandatory.
I really like that.
He does not
really like that.
He does not really like that. He said he'd hesitate to force the 1 game break if a player is subbed in this manner, as it would dissuade teams from actually using it. So he thinks it would be cause for teams to not do it. So agrees with Sean. It would be hard to fake these injuries, and he's kind of okay with an independent medical person to ensure nothing nefarious is going on. So I can kind of see what he's saying about the mandatory 1 game thing.
That's a decent compromise.
Well, third party. I would actually then swing back the other way. If he's okay with the independent medical person, and they're independent of the club, then he should have no problem with the 1 game suspension, or not suspension, but 1 game.
Because if it's both, I think that's best.
It's an independent person saying that you have a concussion.
Yeah, but then it would be like it would. I don't know. I can see that, like, what happens when Anthony Taylor is the independent third party and he's, he knows that Manchester United plays.
He's the ref.
I understand he's the ref, but like I'm using him as an example because Brad believes that Anthony Taylor is biased against Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
So is the media. The media hates Chelsea too.
Yeah.
They're already starting the Tuchel BS.
They're starting the Tuchel BS. Brad, okay, we can get into this when we talk about the Chelsea result. And I will explain to you why it's not the media's fault that the media talks about Roman Abramovich potentially firing a manager. That's all. Those were the comments we got. So let's talk about the Premier League.
Is there anything to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to throw up the league table. I'm going to do a little bit different this week and have hello. Are you going to come up, league table? Table. Hello. There we go. I can figure out technology. I'm really good at it. But so after this is after match week 18. So in theory, the teams would have played 18 matches. Manchester City are in first position on 44 points. Liverpool are in second on 41. Chelsea are in third on 38. They drop points again this week. Arsenal are still in fourth on 32, putting a little bit of pressure on Chelsea. Ready or not, here we come. In fifth position is West Ham. They are, though they have a game in hand, so they are 4 points off fourth, but with a game in hand. Manchester United are in sixth. They have 2 games in hand. They can surpass Arsenal in fourth if they win both their games in hand. Tottenham have 3 games in hand. They are in seventh position. They have 26 points. They also can surpass Arsenal if they win all of their matches.
You bet your ass I can.
Wolves are in eighth on 25 points, having played all their games. Leicester are on ninth, having only played 16 games, so they have 2 games in hand. They're on 22 points. Villa are in 10th.
All right. It's too much games in hand.
Yeah. Okay. Too much information. All right. My bad.
You got through the first 9. That's all that matters.
All right. So Villa are in 10th. They're on 22 points. Palace, they're in 20th. I'll do it for the relegation zone. Okay.
Okay.
Brentford.
Everybody has games in hand.
Arsenal do not. Brentford are 12th on 20 points. Brighton are also on 20 points in 13th. Everton are on 19 points in 14th. Southampton are in 15th on 17 points. Leeds, 16th on 16 points. Watford are 17th on 13 points. All right, and now I'm going to say Watford have only played 16 games. In 18th position, we have Burnley on 11 points. They have 3 games in hand, though. Newcastle, this is not looking good for Newcastle. Newcastle are in 19th place on 10 points, and they have played all of their 18 games. And Norwich City are in 20th place. They are on 10 points as well, but they also have a game in hand. So
if they listen to the pod, I gave them the way out.
Yeah.
You just get
good.
Newcastle.
Just get COVID.
Just get good.
Just get COVID.
People of Newcastle, I want you to listen to this. People of Newcastle.
Joel, take notes. Send it to Steve. Eddie Howe.
Get your manager / player development person, right? Just get them to pry Dean Henderson out of United for a 6-month loan, and you have a good goalkeeper. You can't lose if you don't give up goals.
So I
don't think drawing makes it happen.
No, hold on, Sean. Let me break some down to you.
You can't lose,
Sean. Do you think
you can only draw?
Sean, hold on. Do you think Bernd Leno is a good goalkeeper?
If you're suggesting selling him to Newcastle, then if I was them, I would take it now.
No, just generally speaking, do you think Bernd Leno is a good goalkeeper? Okay,
he's an above average goalkeeper. Yes.
Arsenal lost a lot of games with Bernd Leno as a goalkeeper. So goalkeepers are not the only way that you don't lose games. You also need defenders. So
I said last week, what you do as Newcastle, you start with scouting directors, scouts, training facility, and then get a keeper on loan.
Agreed.
And then none of that counts against financial fair play at that point because wages and all that other stuff don't count. So then you can pay the $50 million it's going to take to get a top tier or a top-ish tier center back. For $50 million, you could probably get someone like a Rudiger. I'm not saying Rudiger.
Who's coming to a championship side team?
Well, hold on, this is how you do it. This is how everybody.
This is how you do it.
Everybody that you sign has a guaranteed 6-month contract.
Yeah, 6-month contract.
Or it's like however long the contract is, but it can be broken if we're relegated.
Yeah,
that's how you do it, and that's how you convince good players to come. Kieran Trippier, you sign him. If you sign him this window, say you guaranteed for 6 months, but you can break the contract if we get relegated. Maybe some of them won't do it because they're happy to be playing in England and they like the idea. They like the idea of building the team back up. But
I just think, and I know probably Jimmy's probably going to be pissed at this statement, but I don't think left and right backs are a necessity, and that's why I said Jimmy because of Robertson and Trent. Because let's be honest, they run the team.
I mean,
not run the team, but they run the offense. If it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have. Yes,
Trent.
If it wasn't for them, it was crazy to me that one of Liverpool's goals. I know we'll talk about it in a second. It was crazy to me that one of Liverpool's goals was the right back passing to the left back. Robertson scored the goal based on an assist by fucking Trent. And I was like, how?
Fullbacks union, bro. Fullback union.
God. They're just both broke. I actually, you remember last week when I was talking about speaking to a Scottish guy at the local establishment?
Yeah.
Being Scottish.
Yeah. And he was complaining that it's unfortunate that Scotland's two best players play the same position.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. You said that already.
Okay.
I know.
So let's talk. Let me give you guys, the good people, a rundown of match week 18. So match week 18 got off to a blistering pace on Saturday.
Woo!
So Manchester
My hair's
United,
burning.
Manchester United against Brighton at 7:30 a.m. postponed. Villa against Burnley at 10 postponed. Southampton against Brentford. James's pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Okay, here you go. Loyal listeners.
Not your fault you didn't watch it this time.
Loyal listeners, I did not watch this game because it was postponed. Watford Palace.
Not your fault. Not your fault.
Watford Palace, postponed. West Ham Norwich, postponed. Leeds Arsenal, Leeds got that booty beat. Arsenal win 4-1. The only game that was played on Saturday of the 6 that were scheduled was Leeds against Arsenal. Big ups to Leeds, though. Big up to Bielsa, because a reporter asked Bielsa after the match, said, you guys have a lot of players out. Should this game have been postponed? And Bielsa was like, no. None of our players missing were due to COVID. It was all injuries. So you can't cancel games because of injuries. So big up to Bielsa for that.
Yeah.
For owning it. Like,
I agree with that.
Their squad is thin and they have a lot of injuries. So, we beat them. Sunday. All right. So it gets off to a strong rip-roaring start Sunday morning. Everton hosting Leicester. Going to be a good game. Postponed. Wolves, Chelsea. Should have been postponed. 0-0. Newcastle City. Maybe Newcastle wish this game was postponed. City win 4-0. And then Spurs Liverpool play in the Controversy Bowl. In the Paul Tierney is one of the worst referees on the planet bowl. They play a 2-2 draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we're just going to start there. We're going to start there because wowzers, was that a poorly officiated game?
The only way I will say that is poorly officiated is that he let it loose.
Okay.
Like he let the boys play. That's the only way.
So,
but other than that, it was pretty consistent.
All right.
Like there was a Dele Alli foul, there was a Yota foul, like the Kane one was not a red. Like there's a lot of shit to digest.
Okay, let's just start at the top. The Kane one was not a red card. Let me paint the picture for you, loyal listeners. Harry Kane goes into to tackle the ball away from Andy Robertson, and
2-footed studs down.
Up.
It was not studs up.
I'm honestly not sure how you say that that's not studs. How that studs down. The base of his foot hits Robertson's shin. His studs go into Robertson's shin. How is
the
that?
Other stud? The other
his
stud
toe
was
did,
down.
you mean? It says toe.
Okay. So the other foot. Okay. So the other foot was down. So the foot that would have broken Robertson's leg is okay. Harry Kane, 100% of the time, should have been sent off.
No, absolutely not. That's a yellow at most.
You are crazy here.
You have not watched football in the last 5 years. 5-10 years ago, maybe.
I'm not backing off of this. I've watched the replay a bunch of times.
Okay.
I've watched it in live motion. I've watched it in slow motion. That is not a red.
Bro.
What? Okay, but how is it different than Robo's? Come on. Let's hear this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's contrast it to Robertson's. Was Robertson's a red card?
No.
Okay, at least you're consistent.
Yes. No, that's also not a red.
Okay, that's fine.
Which foul was worse? Which foul was worse? Kane's or Robertson's?
Well, that you're going to get the homer. You're going to get the homer. You're going to get the Homer answer.
You think Robertson's foul was worse than Kane's?
Yes.
Bro, you are high.
Dude, Kane slid in with a legitimate foul that he almost got the ball. And then
Almost got the ball.
It's a professional. Well, he got the ball off the hand.
Bro.
Wait a second. Intent doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Remember? Because I've said that before. Intent doesn't matter. It's a red.
Yo, I need to get you a compilation of Granit Xhaka red cards to show you what.
It's a professional foul.
Hey,
when does almost count? It's a yellow. I agree. It's a yellow all day, every day. Didn't he get the yellow? Kane got the yellow, right?
Yes, he got a yellow card for that foul.
Yes, he should. Red. Absolutely. It's a correct call. That's probably the only correct call he got.
Sean, you are so incredibly wrong here.
No!
It's incredible.
Hey, James, is he more wrong about this or about pickles? Which one is he more wrong about?
He's more wrong about this. He's more wrong about this. Pickles are trash. I'm going to get a pickle. Pickles are trash, but this is an unimaginably wrong take.
He went in for the slide. Robertson did exactly what a professional would do, is get out of the way. He just is slow, so he didn't get out of the way fast enough. So then he accidentally got hit barely, and now we're supposed to send Kane off the field? He barely hit his foot.
All right, hold on.
Barely hit his foot.
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to read.
Did he hit the foot?
I'm going to read Jimmy's comments because Jimmy had thoughts on this.
Go ahead,
so
please.
The Kane foul. Surprisingly, he kind of agrees with you here. So not clear during play. VAR should have reviewed and shown it was red. But you're not going to send the English captain off like that. The reason why Harry Kane was not sent off is because he's English. 100%.
The reason he didn't get sent off is because it wasn't a red.
If Granit Xhaka does that, it's an instant, immediate red card from Paul Tierney. It's not. It doesn't even go to VAR. It doesn't even go to VAR. It's a red card. The Robertson red, very hard foul. Surprised it's a red. Swinging and missed on a ball. Ends up being knee to knee. No studs. It's a bad foul, but no serious injury or threat of injury. But Jimmy can live with it being a red. You know, I watched it. I didn't think it was. I
didn't think either one were the red.
I don't think Robertson's was a red card. I can kind of see that it was a very hard foul. But if you're going to give Robertson's as a red card, you have to have given Kane's as a red card.
I do actually agree with that. If you're going to give Robertson that red, you had to have given Kane the red.
Yeah, it's terrible. Okay.
If you're going to do that.
All right, so the Diego Jota penalty.
Because if you still frame Robertson, it looks like he's about to karate kick.
Yeah.
So that's the still frame I saw from Tottenham Twitter. It made me be like, I have to watch the video now. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, that's not that. It's bad. It's just not. Yeah. But it looks like for YouTube content, he is behind the guy and he's mid this. He's about to kick the shit out of the back of the leg.
But the way he kicks, he doesn't kick through his foot. He swings down. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I just punched my microphone. He swings down and just goes over the ball and just his knee and leg run into Emerson's.
And it's tough to give him a red for that, honestly.
It was terrible. I think that was a terrible call.
I don't think that's a red. In the same way, I don't think Kane's was a red. I think both should have been yellows.
I think that's crazy. Diego Jota's penalty.
The only thing I'll give you,
is
if it's a red, it's only because he went in both footed.
No, it's a red because his studs his entire base of his foot goes into.
Shit happens, James.
It doesn't. Okay? Yes, shit happens, and you get penalized when shit happens. It's a dangerous play.
It's not. He went into the left side of him on purpose, trying to get the ball, and made it so Robertson. It was Robertson.
Yeah, it was Andy Robertson.
Robertson could get out of the way, which is what's supposed to happen. That is a professional tackle. And Robertson, being the world-class fucking player that he is, got the ball up earlier.
What happens if Robertson doesn't get the ball up?
Then it's a red card because Robertson's legs broke.
So because the outcome was not a broken leg, that's not a good look, dog. Not a good look. I assume your headphones stopped working on you. That's not a good look.
It's a good look because that's the way I want our team to play.
Sure. Yeah. But that's okay. Anyway, I'm moving on. Diego Jota's penalty. Clearly a push in the back. Attackers are allowed to slow down and collect themselves to shoot or at any time on the pitch.
He's not wrong there.
Yeah, agreed.
He's not.
Dele Alli's penalty. Thought it was much softer than Jota's. If VAR reviewed it and gave it as a pen, Jimmy would have been able to live with it.
The couple of angles I watched of that, I initially did not think it was a penalty. I thought because Dele is prone to going down quick.
Yeah, he's a bit of a diver.
That's why I was always so mad at you guys for calling Kane a diver.
Kane is a diver.
He's not. Don't get me down this path. Dele Alli is a diver.
Yeah,
he dives if he makes it into the box and you even breathe in this direction, he's falling down.
Yeah.
So he probably has that reputation where the ref was like, nah, not happening. But then, like, watching the replays, he definitely got a foot. He got a foot in his leg and a hand on the back.
Yeah.
So, but that's like slow motion replay, like pull back. Like, he's right. If it went to, they probably would have gave a penalty.
Yeah. So Jimmy's overall take on this is that football is a very fast game. VAR is intended to help slow it down when referees don't make the right decision. Clearly, he thinks it was misapplied in the game. Loads of poor decisions. Tierney lost control of the game. Fouls that were not fouls 2 minutes later were fouls. And he's mostly okay with the result. He thought Spurs played really well and are still probably one of the best counterattacking teams in the world, and Liverpool struggled to deal with that. However, Alisson doesn't have a howler, and Liverpool win. I think that's probably generally true. My biggest issue in this match, Kane should not have been on the pitch. Should have been a red card that would have drastically changed the way that Liverpool would have played, changed the way Spurs would have played. I think Spurs are incredibly lucky to have gotten a point out of that game. Incredibly lucky. They might have played well, but I think Kane should have been sent off.
Just full disclosure to the listeners, I didn't watch this live. I had family stuff with Christmas stuff going on. I wasn't able to watch it live, and I watched the extended highlights, which is basically, if you've ever watched like an NBC Sports recap, it's like they basically condensed the game into 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's all the chances that could have, whether they did or didn't, you don't know. But like whether they did or didn't, they give you the chance and the build-up.
Yep.
So just with that backstory, Tottenham were lighting Liverpool up the entire game. 65% of the chances that were 65% of the highlights was Tottenham lighting them up. Like it should have been 3-1 going into half.
So I think I got home from church and it turned it on. It was like the beginning of the second half. So I missed all of the first half. I missed all of the controversy, except for the Robertson stuff. But it seemed like a fairly even game in the second half until the red card.
Adjustments because Conte was. We were ripping.
All right, so but here's something. Let me throw this out there for you. You guys had 2 weeks of rest. Liverpool played a game 3 days earlier. So like, I expect you guys to have been fresh, to look sharp. Conte's had 2 weeks to beat you guys into form.
And Romero's almost back too.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys look sharp over the next 2 or 3 weeks. What's going to suck for you guys is like when they start rescheduling these fixtures.
What's not going to suck is that all of those fixtures are sucky teams.
Yeah, but the problem is like
you have to play the games.
You still have to play the games, and so maybe you win them, maybe you don't, but you're going to have to play them, and you're going to play them where.
Difficult.
What, Brad?
I think it might be more difficult for you guys because, like in Jimmy's comment here, I don't know if we've got to it yet, that Tottenham is one of the best counterattacking teams. Conte's an awesome counterattacking manager. So, like, but when Tottenham has the ball, you guys are kind of inept. That's what I've seen from them so far.
Yeah, those are teams that you're going to have to break down because they're going to give you a lot of the ball. Like, and so will you be able to break those teams down? That's the question. And it remains to be seen. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out for Tottenham. We don't need to spend too much time on the Leeds Arsenal game. Arsenal were very clinical. We played exceptionally well, and it was a really good game. From an Arsenal perspective, they keep the pressure on West Ham, on Manchester United, on Tottenham. Arsenal need to keep winning because they're in kind of a precarious position, having all those teams behind them with games in hand. So they need to win to keep the pressure on those teams that are chasing them. Newcastle City, almost nothing to talk about there. City win 4-0. So that brings us to the Wolves-Chelsea game, Brad. Tuchel's a little frustrated because he thought that you guys had enough players out with COVID to warrant postponing the game. Talk to me about that game. What how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts, opinions?
Yeah, our entire midfield and our entire attack was out with COVID, but because we had Lewis Baker, who ended up getting COVID on the roster list, they did not postpone the game like they postponed every other game that had COVID cases involved. So yeah, super, super frustrating. Should we have probably won? Yeah, but we just had no finishing. At the end of the game, Sal was our striker.
Yeah.
Husic was playing wing back.
So how many players did you guys have out from COVID?
Lukaku, Werner, Adoy, Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic.
It had to be like 10.
Okay,
and clearly most of your first team.
It seems to me that Chelsea.
It was more than that.
Chelsea were almost penalized by having too many players. You know? Like you guys have so many players that you needed. I forget what the number was to be able to field a full first team, but you guys were able to reach that because you have so many players on your roster.
We were literally one player shy, is what I understand. Because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 4 outfield players on the bench. One of them including Kovacic, and Conte had to play the full 90 minutes.
So this leaves you guys 6.
We lost 2 more players to injury. Chaloba was just pain, but we lost Ziyech to injury from that game too, that's not COVID.
Yeah,
that's not COVID.
Yeah,
but like, there's only so much.
So this leaves you guys 6 points off the title. How do you think you're still in it?
January is going to determine that.
Okay.
I think we have a chance. Yes.
Here comes the meltdown.
I disagree. There's not going to be a meltdown, but this is our fixtures in January.
Hey,
Liverpool.
That's
Tottenham.
important.
Tottenham in the EFL. Chesterfield. Tottenham in the EFL. City. Tottenham. Then we go play.
You play Tottenham 3 times in January?
Yes, the 4th, the 11th, and the 23rd.
It's gonna be a bad January for your boy.
For Conte, you're right. It's gonna be a bad January for Conte.
Hey, give
we don't have the players for this.
Hey, all of those on YouTube that saw that, for me, Sean pointed at himself. He said, "Me, it's gonna be a bad. It's gonna be a bad month for me.
Bad January for me."
And you're gonna have to fit in those 3 games. I mean, you guys aren't in the Conference League.
Those aren't going to be played in January. Those games are going to be played in like March, in April.
We'll see.
Like the Premier League bakes in time later in the season for fixture rearrangement. And so those games will get baked in like later, like in FA Cup weekends when there's an FA Cup weekend, and Spurs and whoever we're supposed to be playing aren't involved. They'll play that weekend, assuming Spurs aren't involved. Now, if Spurs are involved, then it gets even dicier because then you just have to throw in a random midweek game because they're not in Europe. So maybe it's a week where the Champions League is playing, and Spurs have a game as well.
And so in between the second and third Chelsea Tottenham matchup, you guys play Arsenal too. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun month for both of our squads.
I mean, all three of our teams have some pretty crazy Januaries. We play City in January, Tottenham in January, and Liverpool twice in the EFL Cup. So we got
January's gonna decide it.
Knocking out the hard games early and then just coasting to the end, like just coasting in with 3 points.
Yeah, but you still got to get those 3 points. That's the thing. And we've talked about this many times on this podcast that there's not an easy game in the Premier League. Every game you have to fight for. And the games that you expect to be easy games are generally the hardest games to play.
Yep. Because of low blocks and all that stuff.
Even though you have a game in hand against Burnley, that's not a guaranteed 3 points, unfortunately. It should be. Hey, bro, where's Tottenham? They're 7th. Arsenal are in 4th. So,
dang. Even James's predictions are looking better than Sean's now.
Hey, we're only 12 points off the title, and we're gonna take 3 off of City on January 1st. So, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna put another 5 past us.
I need a draw there.
I need a win. You need a win, Brad. You need a win. You need City to drop points. You need City to drop lots of points. And
if City drops 2 points, we climb.
Yeah, but the thing is, if City drop 3 points, you climb even more. And you still have another game against Arsenal. Arsenal are 6 points behind you. I expect to beat Arsenal even if you guys were ahead of us. Exactly. So that's your mindset going into it. So you just want City and Liverpool to lose. You don't care who they're playing. You want them to lose. Anyway, so I still think Chelsea have a shout in the title race. I don't think they're out of it.
I don't think so either.
I think that they're going to need some results to go their way.
6 points. We make 6 points.
I agree with you. I mean, like you play City again. You play Liverpool again.
We win those. That's 2 6-pointers. We're back in it.
Yeah.
City drops another game. We beat City, and City drops another game. We're right back in it.
Well, because City have to play Liverpool as well. You have to remember those two teams play each other, and so like somebody's going to lose points there. Yeah, but then you also have to play perfectly, kind of. Like, I'm not saying you can't drop any points over the next 19 matches, but like...
Hey, the supercomputer had us only losing like 1 game, I think.
Well, the supercomputer also said Sunderland wasn't going to win a game this season, and they've won some games this year. But
Sean's so confused by that comment.
Get the fucking supercomputer out of my face. What the supercomputer?
There's so many memes about it.
Let's look forward. Let's look forward.
Well, no, we're not quite looking because we have to talk about the EFL Cup. So,
fucking supercomputer.
This is the only week we're going to talk about the EFL Cup in this great detail because 60% of the Premier League matches were canceled. This podcast does not talk about the EFL Cup unless there's literally nothing else to talk about. And boys and girls, there's literally nothing else to talk about. So we had the quarterfinals. Arsenal hosted Sunderland. Arsenal Premier League. Yeah. Thank you for that, Sean.
That was great. Wow.
YouTube listeners, I hope you enjoyed that visual. Arsenal hosted Sunderland on Tuesday. Arsenal win 5-1. That's League One Sunderland. That's the 3rd division of English football. Brentford hosted Chelsea. Chelsea win 2-0. Liverpool and Leicester played to a 3-3 draw at Anfield. Crazy game. Liverpool win 5-4 on penalties in the 6th round of penalty takes. So everybody missed a penalty there. And then Spurs were hosting West Ham United. And Spurs win 2-1. So that leaves us with Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Spurs moving through. Arsenal drew Liverpool, and Chelsea drew Spurs for the semifinals. And those semifinals are 2-legged affairs, home and away. So those are coming in January. So those are coming up. Arsenal. So if I look at like the teams, like the relative power strength of teams, the teams that lost fielded relatively strong teams. Like they're for better or worse, their first teams. Now Spurs also did field a very strong lineup.
Well, yeah, they haven't played anybody in like 3 weeks. Who cares?
So they had the fitness
Yep.
to play a big team. Yeah.
We kind of did not, but we kind of did. At the
Who
same
did
time.
you sit?
The problem
you
is
said
like
Emerson and Regulon, right? And they still came in and played.
I think Sun didn't play, right?
Sun came
Son
in.
didn't start.
Yeah.
He came on. Lucas played.
Yep. But Lucas under other managers has been first choice. So like Lucas is like in the shout for being first choice.
Yeah. And then I was trying to who's in the center?
You had like Højbjerg in there, you had Skip in there.
Well,
Højbjerg, Skip.
Skip.
Regulon did start.
Skip was who I was thinking. And Winksy came on, and I was surprised that he wanted to go Winksy, Højbjerg, Skip, and they're really similar players. So I was surprised that he wanted to go 3.
Well, he plays a 3-5-2. That like Conte's favored position is a 3-5-2, not a 3-4-3.
Yeah, but what Sean's point is that if you have
If
if your preference is 3-5-2, you don't really have room for 3 defensive midfielders. Like I guess you're just playing super fucking defense. Then it's like a 3-3-2-2, which is like strange.
And what he did was move Skip forward.
But Skip's not skilled enough to do that.
He realized really quickly, and then he subbed Skip off for Son.
Dele. Oh, it was Son or Dele?
Oh, Dele came on.
I mean, the thing is, if you're going to play all 3 of them, the one that I'm selecting to be the most attacking player is Højbjerg.
Højbjerg. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, cool. We agree.
Yeah, no, but I just, it wasn't entirely our first team, but it was close.
Yeah.
Like we were trying to win that game.
I agree. I think Conte recognizes that as a very realistic opportunity to win, especially since UEFA handed you guys a 3-0 defeat against Rennes. So you guys are out of the EFL or the Conference League.
The what? I'm sorry.
Which is the EFL of European Cup.
What were we in? I didn't even notice we were in.
It was the
is that what
Farmers Only League.
Is that what Brendan Rodgers said?
Slovakia.
Yeah, so Brendan Rodgers doesn't know what competition that is either, but he might not be around long enough to know what our competition is if he keeps keeping on the way he's going.
Leicester. Is he still at Leicester?
Yeah.
Yes. And they started awesome. It was 2-0 super fast.
Yeah, they bottled that hard.
So
yeah.
For people
at
home,
game from what I listened.
For people at home, I watched the. Did they end up losing?
Yeah.
In penalties.
Yep.
Okay.
So wait a second.
For people at home, I did not know that they were playing at the same time. So I watched the Tottenham game, and then ESPN app had Liverpool Leicester. Just right after, and I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't realize they were playing after." So I start watching it, and I text the boys, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there's no way they lose this lead." And Brad texts me back like, "Oh well, yeah, they do."
Like it went to penalties.
Yeah,
Bro,
and I'm like, what?
Me,
like I'm doing math, and I'm like, wait a minute, and like I Google Liverpool. And I'm like, sure enough, they're in fucking penalties right now.
As you're texting me,
it was funny.
It's like Minamino scores.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
literally at the same time.
Like the 95th.
Yeah, you were way behind.
It was my favorite thing to happen today.
It was a recording. It was a recording or whatever.
Yeah. You guys want to look forward to Boxing Day, to Match Week 19?
No.
All right. So, I don't care what you think, Sean. We're moving on.
All right, whatever.
That was the 5-minute segment. That was the longest segment we're ever giving to the EFL Cup.
Until it's Chelsea Tottenham, then we'll probably talk about it because
maybe
we're going to dunk on Tottenham.
It's not going to be Chelsea.
I'm going to dunk on Tottenham.
All right. So Match Week 19, Boxing Day, day after Christmas. On Sunday morning, we got Liverpool hosting Leeds, Wolves hosting Watford, Burnley hosting Everton, City hosting Leicester, Norwich hosting Arsenal. Spurs hosting Palace. Feels bad, Sean. West Ham are hosting Southampton. Villa are hosting Chelsea. Brighton are hosting Brentford. And then on Monday, for some reason, Newcastle United are hosting Manchester United, the two lucky teams that don't have to play on Boxing Day. And then also next week we have a midweek as well. Match week 20 starts on Tuesday. So we got another patch of games after that. Let's focus on Boxing Day to begin with. What are we excited to watch there? What games do you guys think will be good? What are you guys looking out for? How do you think your teams are going to do?
Nothing.
Tottenham Palace will probably be the most interesting. Or
Shut
Brighton
up, Brad.
Brentford.
Shut up.
Or Brighton Brentford. If I had my pick of the week, I want to see Crystal Palace demolish Tottenham.
I mean, so do I.
They always do.
I do too.
But we'll let James have his pick of the week. I think the best game will be Brighton Brentford.
So speaking of Spurs Palace, your boy Conor Gallagher, right, for Palace, right?
Oh yeah,
right, Brad. You think he's gonna have a big game for Palace against Spurs?
I think he's gonna have a great game for Palace against Spurs.
Why would you say that, Brad?
Because he's been there 4 months and won the 2021 Footballer of the Year for Crystal Palace.
You don't say.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Cobham is the best academy on earth. That's what it means.
How many of your youngsters scored in the League Cup this week, Brad?
Probably a couple.
Sounds like one.
I gotta check.
Who scored the goals for you today? I know Jorginho had a penalty.
Jorginho and Jensen.
Who?
His own goal.
Oh, okay.
Reece James technically kicked the ball, but it was a deflection, so it was an own goal.
Did you see who scored the 5th goal for Arsenal?
No.
Haaland, baby.
Oh.
Charlie Patino. Next big thing. You guys remember the name? Remember the name now, Charlie Patino. He's going to be big for Arsenal in a couple years.
The problem with the Gallagher thing is that apparently Palace fans don't watch games because Wilfred Zaha is the best thing that's ever happened to Crystal Palace.
I don't know over 2021 though.
Yeah, he hasn't had a great year.
He hasn't had over the calendar.
Maybe not.
He's had a great year.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to argue with you guys. Wilfred Zaha is the best player.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes. I just don't think this calendar year has been his best year.
Yeah.
The first time we played him this year, he took the left back on probably 4 times and won every time.
Okay. He gets Tottenham's left back.
Oh no, our right back. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm not sure that changes your answer.
So looking at these matches, assuming all the matches get played, which some of them are getting canceled 100%. Games that I think are interesting. Burnley and Everton I think is interesting. That might be because the thing is Everton need results. Burnley need results, and they need 3-point results. Especially at home, Burnley wants to win. So will Everton be able to go away in a difficult away fixture and get a win? That'll be interesting.
Burnley at home.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Literally what I said, Brad. Will Everton be able to go away and get a win in a difficult away fixture? All right. I think that the City-Leicester game could have been interesting. I think at the beginning of the season when the Premier League were making the schedule, they're like, oh, Leicester and City on Boxing Day. That'll be a good game. That's not going to be a good game. City are going to score about 8 goals here.
Watch Leicester actually show up, though. Watch Daka show up.
If you're actually going to watch a game, it's going to be the Monday night game.
Well, so I'm going to get there. I think the Spurs Palace game is going to be good. That's a London derby and the bane of Sean's existence. I think the Villa Chelsea game, if it's played, could be interesting because Villa's had at least one game canceled. So they might be, if they play this game, they might be a little bit fresher than Chelsea in terms of players available. And we've discussed that that Villa have players, and they've been playing well for Steven Gerrard. So I could see Villa getting a result in that game. I'm not saying that they will win the game, but if the game is played, Chelsea are a bit depleted right now. I could see Villa getting a result here. And then to your point, Sean, I think this Newcastle United Manchester United game could be interesting because Newcastle, they need a result. Like, they have to win this game.
They have to win.
That doesn't mean
it's at home.
That doesn't mean they're going to do anything.
Of course it doesn't, Brad. Of course it doesn't. But like it's to the point now that like Eddie Howe has to get this team playing in a manner which resembles a team that could survive.
Which sure. I mean, the City game, besides the 4 goals, they were playing better. Like, Newcastle is playing better under Eddie Howe than they did under Steve Bruce. 1,000%. But United's not giving this, like, what? This game is going to be a shit show. It's going to be disastrous for Newcastle.
It could be. It depends on which Manchester United team shows up. It really could be. I agree with you, Brad.
It's on the new manager bounce.
My point would be that Newcastle need to make a statement that it's okay to come to North England. Sorry,
that it's not okay to come to Northeast England.
Yeah, Northeast England. It's okay to come here because we've got to head in the right direction.
Okay.
They need to make a statement.
I misunderstood that. I thought you were saying they need to make a protect this house statement that you can't come to you can't come to Newcastle and we're going to beat you. Well, you're saying for prospective players. You're talking prospective players. They need to show we're attractive place to play football.
A show of yes, we can stand up to the big boys.
Gotcha.
So they're going to give Martial a tour of the ground and say, "You want to come here for 6 months?"
Anthony Martial's not coming to this match because Ralph Ragnick is not going to pick him.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So I don't think you're wrong, Sean.
That's the way I picture it. It's like Eddie Howe's got to be like, we have to win this game, not only for points, but because we've got money and we can't spend it if nobody will come here. So you guys have to nut up or shut up.
Sure, but they're going to shut up.
Erling Haaland is out of he's not out of contract, but his release clause is. If you're Newcastle, do you go tell Dortmund we'll give you a little bit more than his release clause to sign him and pay Haaland a boatload of money for 6 months to stay up and convince him to play for you for 6 months, and then he gets to go sign with another club on a free in the summer?
No, you do not.
I mean, that's a terrible financial investment. It's a horrible but if you stay up.
Let's be real. If he's going to do any type of 6 month thing for a club in England, it's Leeds.
You think so?
It has to be Leeds. That's where his dad played. He's wearing Leeds United shorts all the time, like in all these videos. So if he's doing like a 6 month stint somewhere to keep them up.
It was a stupid idea. It was a stupid idea that literally just hit me. So I figured I would throw it out.
Yeah, it's definitely stupid.
Okay, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. It was super dumb, James. Wow, man, that was the dumbest thing you've ever said. Cool, man.
Not quite. It's close, but not quite.
I did pick Arsenal to win the league this year, but I pick Arsenal to win the league every year. Match week 20. I'm just going to quickly run over match week 20. So this is the midweek fixtures that start on Tuesday. They're played over Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Arsenal host Wolves. Palace host Norwich. Southampton host Spurs. Watford host West Ham. Leeds host Villa. Leicester host Liverpool. They feel like they're playing again because they are playing again. Chelsea hosts Brighton. Brentford hosts Manchester City. Everton hosts Newcastle. And Manchester United host Burnley. I got confused there because I was like, where are Spurs? But I did say them a little bit earlier. That's what's coming midweek. When we next record this podcast, some of those games will probably be played, probably not all of them, assuming COVID doesn't ravage these fixtures. So we can look forward to these games as much as we want. We can be excited about them, but whether they get played or not, who knows? That's kind of, I think, the unfortunate position we're in as Premier League fans right now is that COVID's real nasty right now in England, and it's locking down a lot of these teams and their ability to play. But yeah, that's about all we got. You guys got any parting shots?
Chelsea sucks.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, we'll just end the podcast there. Peace.
Oh, everybody getting hurt.
Yeah, so that's all we got. If you guys are still listening, we'd really appreciate it. And you're new here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, hit the like button. Leave us a comment and we will talk about it next week. Hit us with 5 stars. We really appreciate 5 stars. Now, if you think we're a 1-star podcast, why don't you rate us 5 stars and then tweet to us why you think we're a 1-star podcast so we can fix it. That I think is really the play. Rate it 5-star, tweet at us about why we suck. That's a mild inconvenience. Yeah, you don't want to be mild inconvenience. You want to avoid the mild inconvenience. So if you could do that, we would really appreciate it. And tweet at us and tell us why we're stupid. Hit up Brad. He's at KSBradG. At KSBradG. Sean is at Whiteheart_Sean, and that's Sean spelled the normal way. Whiteheart _ yes, Whiteheart _Sean. I am at James Tiffany. At James Tiffany. You can hit me up on Twitter. I will probably respond to you. And then we collectively, as a group, we are collectively at redcard_radio. All of that's on Twitter. Maybe one day we'll have an Instagram. Brad can do Insta things.
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, that's
easy. Some Insta reels of Sean trying to save penalties. I'm gonna do that.
I'm saving. I'm telling y'all. I'm saving these penalties.
Goals. I'm gonna have Lottie kick some of these goals, and they're gonna go right by Sean.
What exactly is an Insta reel? Is that like one of those little short story things?
Yeah, it's kind of like a TikTok. It's kind of like a TikTok, but like not China.
I'm an internet boomer. I'm an internet boomer, so I don't know.
Just end the pod.
Yeah, okay. We'll end it there. Yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you think. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week with a new episode. Have a good night. Thank you. We'll see you next time.